What's up, friends? Time for my strategy video on CrossFit Games Open Workout 20.2. Well, we've got 20-minute AMRAP of 4 dumbbell thrusters, 6 toes to bar, and 24 double unders. 20 minutes, is that a long time? Yes, it is. So, 3 main pieces of advice. Transitions. Usually when I talk about transitions, it's about making them fast. This week, since it's a long workout, it's about making them smooth. I want you to think about finishing your dumbbell thrusters, setting them on the ground, going right to the bar, doing your toes to bar, hopping off, doing your doubles, setting it down, and continuing on. Keep your workspace close and confined. Keep your dumbbells close and in the same spot, and keep your jump rope easy to grab and just go right into it. If you think about it, setting your dumbbells down, letting them roll around all over the place can be 1, 2, 3, 5 seconds every single time you get back to that movement again. With this workout, people are going to be getting 20 plus rounds all over the country. So that's a lot of transition times. 5 seconds times 20, that's a lot of time you're just standing around. So transitions, keep them smooth, keep them close, keep your objects in a deliberate spot. Number 2, stop shy of failure. We always say pace when we're giving advice for these workouts, but what I mean here in terms of this pace is, let's say the dumbbell thrusters start to get really heavy. Let's say you start to lose your grip on the toes to bar and do the double kip. We'll talk about that when I show you the movements. Let's say you start fumbling around with your double unders because your grip just gets so fatigued. I think you should think about stopping before you reach fatigue on all 3 of these movements throughout the entire workout. Have a plan, stick to it, but once those toes to bar start to get tough, break them up. If you start 3-3 and those start to get tough, break them up more, 3 sets of 2. Stop before you reach failure so you can at least keep a steady rhythm going throughout. Piece of advice number 3, stay calm. That's the breath thing, right? 20 minutes is a very long time. If you have a conversational pace where you're moving from movement to movement, keeping yourself at that steady rhythm, that's going to work out for you a lot better than saying, oh, 4 is easy, 6 is easy, 24 in a row is easy for maybe the first 8 to 12 to 16 minutes. But if you start tensing up and moving a little bit too fast, you're going to get gassed, and that last half of the workout or that last quarter of the workout is not going to be your friend. So, transitions, keep everything close and neat. Stop shy of failure so you can keep moving and not waste time and waste reps. And then finally, keep your breath under control and think in your head, I'm doing this tempo all day long. Now, let's talk about the 3 movements. Okay, so for dumbbell thrusters, I have 2 main pieces of advice. One is the efficiency through which you get the dumbbells to your shoulders, and then 2 has to do with where you hold the dumbbells throughout the reps. First, to get the dumbbells to your shoulders, I think this is one of the appropriate times in CrossFit where doing sort of a bicep curl dumbbell swing is totally legit and will save you a ton of energy. How do I like to teach that? Set up a couple of steps behind the dumbbells. Reach down and grab them with your chest up and back flat. First motion is dumbbells back between your legs like a kettlebell swing. Then, when you squeeze your glutes and stand to swing them up to your shoulders, that's when you get the timing to go right underneath for your first squat clean. So it's not bend down, pick them up. It's use the momentum of the swing to get yourself into that position like this. Chest up, come back, swing, boom, ready to go. That's one way. The other way that I think you should be more efficient is thinking about how to hold the dumbbells. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Limb length, your comfort in where your wrist is going to be holding the dumbbells, how long your arms are, and how big the head of the dumbbell you're going to be using is. The bigger the dumbbell, the more you need to adjust this position. The point is, if I'm holding the dumbbells in my hand with a death grip and my arms are way out to the side, that weight is pressing on the outside of my shoulders, pressing down the entire time and taxing me. So, this wide dumbbell grip, I think, will get really, really tough on the shoulders. If you have the mobility and the ability to hold them where one head of the dumbbell can almost rest on your shoulders throughout the squat, your grip can be a little bit more loose, and then you can literally think about the thrusters as a drive from the legs. All my hands are doing are stabilizing this weight. So squat, drive, right back down to the shoulder gives my grip a little bit of a rest in a workout that has potential to be pretty grip heavy. So It's going to take some practice, but find where you can safely and comfortably hold those dumbbells, so it's more about the legs and your arms for stability and less about your ability to death grip and hold on to those heavy dumbbells. Set them down. Come back. Little swing. Right into your squat. Drive up. Punch. Drive up. Punch. Nice and steady. When you're done, set them right down where you picked them up, and they'll be waiting for you on the next round. All right, now let's talk toes to bar. In my opinion, this movement is going to be the separator across people all around the world. Some people can do 6 in a row all day long. Great. Some people need to start off with singles. All I want to say is I've seen CrossFit Games athletes, people who've competed at the games, in the open, do workouts with toes to bar where they're doing singles. The point is they're doing fast singles, hopping down, getting right back up. That's a solution to me that answers the issue of the double kip, which I think is the worst thing you can do in this workout. A double kip, you do 1 rep, come down, lose your timing or get fatigued, and then go into a 2nd rep after an extra swing. It looks something like this. 1 rep, lose weight, lose your rhythm, boom, then we go. That time where you're hanging and not being productive is really taxing because you're still having to tax your grip, hanging onto the bar. You're still having to go through the motion of that full body kip, and what you're not doing is getting anything out of it. So find a bar that's a little bit shorter that works for you, as long as you can kip your feet back past the bar like you need to, and go to quick singles if you must. That would look something more like this. 1 rep, drop. 1 rep, drop, and keep that rhythm going. Hanging without being productive is a waste of energy in a workout where thrusters might tax your grip and double unders might tax your grip. Be efficient there. Now, what is the best way to do toes to bar? Some people bend and kick. Some people pike at the hips and keep their legs straight. Some people do that butterfly motion where they keep moving. This is a 20-minute workout. I don't care what variation you do, but if you start sprinting on the toes to bar in any one of the early rounds, I think you're just exhausting yourself way too early. Find a rhythm that is comfortable, find a rep scheme that is sustainable for a while, and like I said before in the beginning, break before you reach failure. So if you can do quick doubles, 1 rep, 1 rep, take a breath, and keep going. I think that's going to do you better over the course of the full 20 minutes than 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and then start dropping the singles because you're so wrecked by the end. Pace these out, and remember, if you get 20 rounds, you're doing 120 toes to bar. Not only is that going to be rough tomorrow, but if you're trying to retest this thing, you are likely going to be fried through the midsection. Last thing on the toes to bar, if you're jumping up to a bar, letting the skin on your hands fold over, it's almost asking for a pretty major tear. If possible, maybe grab a plate or a small box, step on it, reach off to the side, get your hands set so they're not going to fold first, and then go. While the transitions are important to not add extra time, I think this extra step of making sure you're not jumping up and letting your hands fold will potentially save your hands for the entirety of the 20 minutes. Pace it more than you think you need to. Keep yourself as loose and as calm as possible, and you'll be able to survive on all those toes to bar. The final part of this workout is the double unders. The good news is that I found in my years of CrossFit, most people tend to know where their limit and threshold is for how many double unders they can do in a row. Not only a max out set, but a number of reps that you can do before getting too gassed. If you can do 15, 20, 30 in a row, but you know you're tired, I don't think it makes sense for you to go unbroken in this workout. Because even if you get through 3, 6, 12 rounds of 24 in a row, if that's taxing your grip, if your heart rate is through the roof, and if you're just completely gassed, you've still got 10 to 12 to 6 minutes left of work. So keeping this under control, I think, is going to be key. 3 main issues we'll see, and you'll know if you're one of these people. If not, ask one of your friends. The pike, the butt kick, or the rolling down the windows, right? The pike variation is where you hinge at the hip every time you do a double under. It's exhausting. The butt kick is where you literally lift your feet all the way up off the ground. That's also exhausting. And then the roll down the window is where the movement of your double under comes from your shoulder and not your wrist. Big circles. We don't want any of those. So it's important to practice finding a way that you can get more efficient with your reps, and then you determine where you break. If you can get 100, 200, 300 reps in a row of double under and you can stay calm, by all means, go for 24 unbroken. But if you know you're going to be gassed trying to hang on for that long, not only will your grip get tired, your heart rate will go up, and you'll likely be more fatigued for everything else. So doing something like 5s isn't a worst case scenario if double unders are something you struggle with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a breath, step through, and repeat. 1, 2. I think that's going to be a much better approach than sprinting, getting tripped up, and that being the reason you stop, and then having to step over the rope, panicked, and going back in. If you start with 24 in a row, great. If you know it gets tough, break it up. 15-9, something where you know you were the reason you're stopping in order to take 1 or 2 breaths and get right back to it. Don't hang on for dear life. Hold your breath and get wrecked when you can take 1 stop. Keep your heart rate down and keep yourself moving. Stay calm on the double unders. We talked about the dumbbells for the thrusters. We talked about toes to bar. We talked about jump rope. I think you should approach this in your brain like it's a 30 or 40 minute workout. At 10 minutes, at the halfway point, you should say to yourself, I've got this, not how am I going to be able to hang on. 20.2 is going to be fun. Any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Hope this video was helpful, and good luck. Have fun. I believe in you. See you next week. One last thing I totally forgot to talk about. A lot of people ask me, should I scale? Should I RX? I think this is one of those workouts where if you can physically do the movements, you go RX. Remember, if you care about your worldwide ranking in the open, every single person who does this workout scaled will be ranked below every single person who does this workout RX. What does that mean? If you can get 1 50-pound double dumbbell thruster as a guy, or 1 35-pound double thruster as a female, you're going to be ranked ahead of every single person that scales. If your open ranking is your goal, seeing how well you can do against everyone who goes RX, I think you should do that. Fight through practicing double unders if you can get them. If you can do singles on toes to bar, or you want to get your first one, try and do that. If your goal is just to get in a good workout, then I would say scale and get as many reps as you can. But this is one of those that I say challenge yourself. If you can physically do them, get 7 reps in 20 minutes, but give yourself the ability to click that RX button when you're done. All right, good luck. Let me know how it goes.